Ladies and gentle ladies, welcome. I'm Jared Strong, and today we have a problem facing us. The apocalypse of gaming has arrived. We are in the next story arc of this situation. Nintendo Switch, they raised the prices of their games and their console and everything, and the inevitable has come true. The rest of the games industry has decided to follow suit. First is Xbox. You see, Xbox has raised their prices. We have prices going up $100 on consoles of every tier. Every tier of console is now $100 more, and some extra peripherals are $10 more. And now they have $80 video games. Not all of them will be $80, but some of them, they're big names. The big guns will be released as $80. This is terrible news, gamers, for society. We are in an apocalypse. Nintendo prices, they're these are actually pre-tariff prices. Wait a second. So the tariffs are the excuse that they're giving. The thing is, they have been wanting to raise prices for a very long time, especially the prices of video games. They've been talking about it. They've been teasing the idea, and they've not wanted to do it because for fear of backlash, for fear of the PR hit. But now that like Xbox has followed suit with this, because Nintendo has the brass balls to do whatever they want, and they have a loyal fan base that will eat up their products, their slop, no matter what they do. They could punch you in the face, and they'd the people getting punched in the face would still buy their console. That's the problem with this situation. But Xbox doesn't really have that. The thing with Xbox is they don't have a long list of exclusive games. In fact, they've removed all their exclusives, allowing other like PlayStation has almost all of the exclusive games that Xbox once had. PlayStation, PC, they have the exclusives, so there's no reason to buy Xbox exclusively anymore. And it the only reason is it's the cheapest console on the market for the price to get into gaming. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because now the cheapest console on the market to get into gaming is the Steam Deck. Steam Deck, bros. We got $400 entry position. The entry level is going to be able to play the same games that these higher ones. They have better battery life. It's not that they're more powerful versions, so you can't play better game or more graphically intensive games. These just have better battery lives and higher gigabyte, higher storage count. So $400 for the Steam Deck versus $400 for entry level Xbox, roughly $400. And now the thing is, it's still cheaper to go Steam Deck, even though you'd be paying slightly more, because you can take a Steam Deck, then $80 extra to dock it. So now it allows you to dock it to a TV, just like a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch, its novelty is that it's a handheld console you can take wherever you want. You can take it anywhere, and you can dock it and be able to. It connects to your monitor, your TV, and you now have a portable and stationary console. That's its whole shtick. The Steam Deck has that, and it's a more powerful console. But the thing with the Steam Deck is, guess what? Why is it the best console on the market, especially now? Why is it the best? It's both a handheld, and you can dock it, so it's stationary. You can have a 4K TV with 4K upscaling and stuff like that. But if we go, why is it the best on the market? Well, if we look right down here on Steam's page, because the Steam Deck, it's a console that uses the Steam Marketplace. So all the PC games you can play on your PC, if you have a Steam account, the moment you buy a Steam Deck, you have your library instant access to games. So here's my library. That's a lot of games. It can play most of them. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games. This is my games. And almost all of these, most of them, the Steam Deck can run. Unfortunately, there's another subject I have to get to later about the Unreal Engine. But Steam Deck, you have massive library. What does the Nintendo Switch have? Not so massive library. You have limited games on the Nintendo Switch, and if with the Steam Deck, I have Elden Ring. If I buy a Steam Deck, I instantly can start playing Elden Ring on the Steam Deck. If I buy a Nintendo Switch 2, I'm going to have to buy a $70 or $80 version of Elden Ring again. And so it's way more expensive. And the same thing with Xbox. If I want to play Elden Ring on the Xbox, it's sure the cheapest way to get into the market, but it's or at least was the cheapest way to get in. But the problem is the price of games would just gouge you through the roof. They'd bleed you dry, and now they're going to bleed you dry even more. If you can get yourself a console, it's cheap entry, but long term it's the most expensive. Because what else does Steam have, and why Steam Deck is the best on the market right now? Especially now that Xbox is raising their prices, and PlayStation probably will raise their prices as well. Look at this. What do you see as I scroll down? What is a common thread? Do you see all those green? You see these green numbers? That means it's 75% off, 20% off, 67% off. We have 50% off. We have 50% off, up to 50% off, 40% off, 85% off. We have 40% off, 75% off, 75% off, up to 95% off on publisher-wide sales of EA sports games, EA games. So, my dogs are barking. Right now, Steam is the best on the market, and the raising of these prices is not going to help them. This is they're trying. The tariffs are increasing the prices. Right? At least that's the excuse. The thing is, when the tariffs are gone, are they going to lower the prices? Are they going to lower the prices when the tariffs are gone? No, they're not. Understand this. They will not lower the prices. Nintendo was raising their prices before the tariffs these prices here are pre-tariff numbers. These are price increases pre-tariff. Understand? They revised their numbers post-tariff. And you have to pay for an online membership, a monthly online membership of $10 a month in order to play online video games. So some of the games you're going to buy on the Nintendo Switch, and this is the same in other consoles, if you want to play online games, you have to purchase a monthly thing. There's just money. You're just bleeding money at every turn. This is turning into a luxury, a high-end elite luxury hobby, and in a lot of ways, there's no reason for it to be, because what allowed this hobby to be so large and have this mass audience, this growing thing, is that it's something that everybody can participate in, because it's not for the elite, it's for the masses. And these executives are looking at short-term problems, short-term gains and short-term problems, and not paying attention to the long term. Hey, Dad. Yeah. Could you turn that off? Thank you. And so they are using the excuse that the tariffs are driving up the prices, but Nintendo was raising their prices pre-tariffs. You understand? These are pre-tariff price increase numbers, because no company would ever increase the price of something based on tariffs if they didn't know what the tariffs were. You don't just estimate, this is what I think might happen, so we're just going to randomly increase our prices. No, that's not how that works. When you see a certain percent tariff, you then adjust things based on that percent. They didn't know what the tariffs were at the time of these increases. And now Xbox similarly has increased prices. It's an excuse. They've been teasing this for so long. The thing with the Xbox is it's a loss leader. It loses money. The console itself is a loss leader. It has never made them money by itself. They have always been losing money on the Xbox. They make their money through the sale of video games. And so the increase of the price of the console itself is doomed to cause the failure of the console, because now with the increase of the console's price, it will price people out of buying the console straight out. And if people don't own the console, then they're not going to buy the games. And if they just increase the price of the games because of the tariffs, maybe. But the issue with that is there's a lot of games that people will never buy because they're never going to purchase these. There's tons of countries around the world that are into gaming, that play games, and they're like one of the largest gaming groups in the world is the South American and like Brazilian gamers, and they can't buy full price games. A lot of the South American gamers, they're with the way their economy is, they can only buy sale, and so Steam is literally the only way they can buy games. And when you start pushing people out of the market, you no longer have an audience, and you're selling to just the elite, and then it's an unsustainable thing. It's going to crash. And that's the thing. Xbox has always been a loss leader. The device loses money, but they know that it will make them money back through the sale and distribution of video games. It's that simple. And so when you start cranking up the price of a loss leader, you're cooked.